Welcome to this episode of Smash and Drink. Today, I was working on my 1967 Chrysler 35 horse. I don't do a whole lot of boat videos on this, but this was my grandfather's boat. My dad inherited it after he passed away, and my dad has passed it to me, and I hope to pass it to my kids someday. So I'm just doing some regular maintenance on it. Unfortunately, if you don't live on the lake or whatever, you need some way to pump water through these water-cooled engines. Now, if your engine's air-cooled or like four-cycle and it doesn't use water to cool it at all, then this might not apply to you. But this video may apply to you if you mess with rain barrels, or if you ever want to collect rain runoff, rainwater from like your downspouts and put it into a barrel, and then you need a way to drain it off. Now, the old Chryslers, the way they inlet water is not in the sides of the transom, it's up through the bottom through these holes, so you can't use the earmuffs, because I'm sure some of you are looking at this video and saying, why didn't you just use earmuffs and hook the garden hose to it? I would have loved to do that, but you can't, and this is technically safer. This mimics like you're in the lake. Instead of in the lake, you're not going to have water pressure blasting up into the pump. It's going to be ambient pressure, and it's going to draw it up itself. So this tells you ideal situation if your water pump's working. That's why I stuck my hand in front of that. That water shooting out is the water pump sucking water up out of the bucket. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape the top of this off. There's a little bit of oil from two-cycle engines. They release a little bit of oil in their exhaust. This was winterized, so it had like fogging oil in it, so it released a little bit more oil than I would like to, and I'm not just going to drain that into my environment. So we're going to be responsible. Although when you're out on the lake, it kind of puts it out in the lake water, but I'm going to be responsible. I'm going to scrape some of that top water off, but the purpose of this video is I can't move this bucket. It's too heavy. Even if I could figure a way to move it, I might break the bucket. So what I've went and got is this Rain Pal RBS005 brass rain barrel spigot. And what this is, I'm hoping will do, this should, if you get a hole saw the size of your threads, not the size of the outside, but the size of the threads, you should be able to drill a hole in the side of your bucket. You know, you can't go all the way to the bottom because I want to be able to hook a garden hose to this, which maybe I'll angle it like that so I can put it more towards the bottom. But we're going to pick a spot. We're going to drill it with water in it, so that should be interesting because it's going to come flooding out as soon as I do it. But I'm going to show you how exactly to install one of these, and or how I install one. Obviously, do these things at your own risk. I wouldn't use a drill that's plugged into the wall. I would use a battery-operated one, and maybe not one you love, because if your barrel's already full of water, it's probably going to get wet. I use Milwaukee tools. It's not sponsored, but they are monsters. I used to work outside doing certain jobs, and I would be out rain, snow, sleet, you name it, 110-degree day, whatever it was. I was out with this exact drill. Actually, I've had this drill for like probably 8 years now, 10 almost 10 years, and I've abused and used it, and it's been soaking wet. It's just been a powerhouse. So I'm going to use this. I do not recommend doing this if you're around power lines or electrical lines, or if you have extension cords going through. The ideal way to drill this would be without any water in it. So unfortunately, I was in a hurry to get the motor running. We're going camping soon. I don't know if you saw my other video with the tent. The whole reason we bought that tent, and the reason I'm doing all this work, is so that we can take this camping and hopefully enjoy it. So let's go ahead and get started.
Smash Engineering.
I think that's about as low as I can go. It's about right there. Recording? It's gonna be messy. Ooh. All right, so to install it, you'll take the nut off and you'll put the washer, one rubber washer on there. Put it in your hole. The hole's a little bigger than I'd wanted it to be. You want it to be as tight as possible. And then you have, some of them come with a urethane, like plastic washer. You want that to go up against this, so as you're tightening it, this doesn't pull on the rubber. And then you put this in, and then you'll need an adjustable wrench, or whatever size this is. It's turned, it needs to be, which way? It needs to be this way. So that I can turn that up and down. All right, so we got the inside tightened down. Make sure your rubber washer out here is centered and you're ready to go. You will, if you did it right, you won't have any leaks around this. If you do have leaks, you can always put some silicone on it, but if you drill the hole the right size, you shouldn't have any issues. I did drill my hole a little on the big side. I didn't intend to. I got the smallest one that I could find to drill it, so probably could have done a smidge smaller. I like it. I would like it to where you almost thread it into the barrel itself as well. But this can be used on rain barrel setups, and you can put it at any level you want. Like on a rain barrel setup, I know people usually don't put it all the way at the bottom because that's where sediment falls. So you might put it up a little higher and then let the rest of it be a sediment catch, so that sediment doesn't come out of here. Anything that doesn't float, won't come out of there. Everything that sinks to the bottom. But I got mine as close to the bottom as I can because I'll be draining the entire barrel when I'm done with it. So that's pretty much going to wrap up this episode. It was kind of a short but sweet one. I hope this helps you if you work on boat motors or anything like that and you want to mimic the lake, how the lake would treat the motor. This is the way to do it. Just be cognizant when you're draining it, you're not draining out toxins into your environment, because we all got to live here and our children's children got to live here, and it's just best if we can keep it clean. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.